I think a lot of people make videos hoping that they have like a magic pill or a wand, and it's just not the right way to do things.
So nice when you have an issue and you can just search it and it just appears right there.
Has like maybe 10,000 views, but the engagement on that is great.
Do you like watching everything under the sun? You have specific interests. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Creators Uncut. Super excited for another episode. We've got a great guest for you today. His name is Sean Boyle and he's from the YouTube channel Momentum 360. Sean, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, Spencer, it's a pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Why don't you go ahead and tell the audience who may not know you kind of about yourself and really what your channel Momentum 360 is about.
Yeah, no, for sure. So based in Philadelphia, we have a marketing company called Momentum where I run the content and media production of that division, as well as some other marketing retainers, ads, SEO, social media, website, what have you. And yeah, really, I like to make free videos on YouTube talking about that stuff for the average mom and pop, small business owner that might not know exactly how to do those things. So being able to give them free value, having them trust me. And then honestly, man, a lot of them are like, oh my gosh, like I don't really have the time to, like the video is good, but like I just don't have the time to implement these things. Let me go talk to Sean. Let me hire his company. So it is a good lead gen acquisition thing. But I also really love spreading good, solid information and helping a lot of business owners. So yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Gotcha. That's awesome. I love people like you who make, specific tutorials about how to do certain things on YouTube. It's just like so nice when you have an issue or you need help with something and you can just search it and it just appears right there. So I appreciate people like you. So you're a part of a business called Momentum. So are you the one who created the channel or is it like a business channel?
Yeah, I'm the one who created it. I think it was back in 2017, 2016, whatever it was. We created it. And then it's funny, like I just started posting, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So it's, been one of those things where like we've had multiple years under it. But when I first created it, I wasn't posting. I wasn't doing like anything with it. I was like, oh yeah, I was using it like as a local citation and backlink. But as time went on, I was like, oh yeah, it's probably a good idea to start making content. Like, one of my big inspirations, who I think we're all kind of inspired by is, or at least for me, is Casey Neistat. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really creative. Just couldn't be more of a just great cinematographer, storyteller. And yeah, for myself, I got a lot out of him. And I was like, oh, why don't I start dabbling in this, and see what I can make out of myself. So yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Gotcha. Cool. So was Casey Neistat kind of that influence that got you to create the channel, or was there another reason why you created the channel back in 2016, 2017, like you said?
Yeah, I mean, I really just did it initially. I don't want to say selfishly, but I did it initially for just to have better online presence, like local SEO. So if someone was to Google Momentum 360, they would find our website, but they would also find like our Facebook page when it was back on Facebook, Instagram page, YouTube channel, all that stuff. So people could see it and they'd be like, okay, cool. So if they're a legitimate company, they have multiple different citations. Okay, they're legitimate. I'll talk to them. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
If you just have a website and no other citations, people can't find you elsewhere, especially if you don't have reviews on that. I'm not saying they're illegitimate, but they're a lot more legitimate if they have that.
Yeah, definitely adds to that credibility.
Yeah.
You mentioned you didn't start posting right away. So would you say you started regularly posting like during COVID? Is that when it happened, or just after you started watching Casey Neistat?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where for me, I don't know, I really saw his videos and then I took some of other people's influence and was like, you know what, I have a couple stories to tell, whether it's talking about virtual tours or SEO or Google My Business profile, stuff like that, right? So it's one of those things where I actually wanted to make these videos, not intrinsically to get more revenue. Now it's actually become like a decent revenue channel for us, but really just to help people, just to be a resource. And the thing too is, I don't know if you've experienced this, but for me, I feel like a lot of YouTube videos, not majority of them, but just a decent amount of them, don't answer the question. They just like float around the question, don't give concise answers. And it's like, For me, I just
Yeah.
want to be very black and white. Like, okay, how do you rank higher on Google? Okay, well, here's what you got to do. It's going to take some time, but here's what you do. If you're talking about how to reinstate a suspended Google profile, okay, well, it's going to take some time, but here's what you do. I think a lot of people make videos hoping that they have like a magic pill or a wand, this magic wand, magic pill, and it's just not the right way to do things because they're going to watch the video, they're going to be, oh my gosh, this is cool. Try out the strategy, see it doesn't work, then leave a negative comment, on the video. Oh my gosh, this is terrible, not a good video, it doesn't work. So yeah.
Yeah, I can totally relate to the some people don't answer the question right away in the video. So I'm a video editor for my full-time job, and sometimes if I don't know how to do something, I quickly YouTube how to do it. And a lot of YouTube tutorials on video editing, they're like at the beginning, they're like, okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about. Uh, First, you need to open the program. It's like really slow and hard to watch. So I love the ones that just like get straight to the point.
Yeah, meaning
So out of this time that you've had your YouTube channel and you've been posting, is there a video that you say is like your favorite or like the best video you've made that you are like proud of?
that's a great question. For me, hmm, the best video I've ever made. I think for me, the best video I've ever made, in my definition, would be probably the most helpful video I've ever made in that. And that probably would be, Spencer, the video I made on how to reinstate a suspended Google profile. And I'll tell you why. So
Mm,
we all know what a Google profile is. If you Google best Mexican restaurant near
yeah,
me, it has a bunch of reviews. That's what it is. That's a Google profile. A lot of businesses, a lot of service-based businesses actually get them suspended. So unfortunately, that's the majority of where they get their revenue from. If they don't have a profile, they're not able to be found, not able to be found, there's no revenue. So for me, I'm actually being able to help a lot of people with that video. I made it I was wearing a sweater, it was winter, very cold.
yeah,
And I don't know. It's not anything too crazy. It has like maybe 10,000 views, but the engagement on that is great. It has like a 99% like to dislike ratio. It has hundreds of comments saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Now, I don't say specifically like, okay, this is going to be a guarantee. I say, okay, these are the steps you want to take to fix it. So I'm very like forthcoming in that because it's not like a
mm,
100% guarantee or a magic pill, but I'm just very upfront with people. And I would like to say I've probably helped a couple people with that. So that's probably the most helpful and honestly probably my most favorite video that I've made to date.
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I definitely know where I'll go if I ever need to, reinstate my Google profile, which I kind of a side question. Are Google profiles helpful for companies that don't necessarily have like a in-person location, like they're like a work from home kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you can't use your residential address as your office address. That you used to be able to do that
Mhm.
in the past. You can't do it anymore. So if you're a service-based business, you have like I don't know, plumbing company, you don't have an office per se, you'll then make what we call a service area business, which doesn't have an address listed. It just shows, okay, you service Philadelphia. It's not like an actual location where your office is, but it says you service Philadelphia, and then you can start kind of operating how you normally would. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. I was just curious. Another question that we like to ask our guests this year, we're trying to make our episodes more experience based. A lot of time, YouTubers either have like crazy subscribers or crazy comments or maybe just a memorable comment. Have you ever gotten like a really memorable comment that stuck out to you, either good or bad?
Well, I definitely don't have all positive comments. I have quite a few negative ones as well because I am quite opinionated.
I think everyone experiences good and bad comments. So,
Yeah, I think so too. There's a couple ones that stand out to me. Like there was one in particular where it was on the Google business profile video that I mentioned, the reinstatement video.
Mhm.
And it was talking about, oh, you were able to solve like, and it's not me that's doing anything. I just gave them the video. They're the ones who did. They're the heroes, not me. They're like, oh my gosh, you were able to solve my Google profile problem. Now we're able to like, and this was like kind of sentimental to me. We're able to now pay the mortgage, which I don't know if that's like literal or figurative, but I don't know. It's text, so
Mm,
you can interpret it however many different ways. But for me,
yeah,
I was taking it literal in the sense of, okay, if this business just couldn't pay the mortgage because they didn't have a profile, that's big stuff. I mean, that's huge. And that really, in terms of like my mental state, really, gave me some energy and passion to want to continue and just, make more value-based videos. I think that was probably the best one I've ever received, for sure.
That's awesome. That's a good comment. Would you say that comment kind of gave you motivation to make more videos?
Definitely did. Definitely energized me. I don't like to put too much stock into comments because I think you can kind of go crazy doing that.
Yeah,
A lot of big time YouTubers, I feel like, have done that. But for me, I disassociate the comments because they're other people's opinions. They're not my opinion. People are, obviously it's the First Amendment. They can say whatever they want. But I feel like if I'm the one who's making the content that I want and making it in the way that is valuable, I don't really care what people say because I'm happy with my work. And I know my work at the end of the day is trying to help people. And that's what I'm trying to put out there. So some people won't interpret it that way. They're going to say, oh my gosh, you're trying to, scam or this or that, which I don't know where they're getting that from. But yeah, it doesn't really bother me.
that's very well said. I agree. I think there's a fine line between, actually taking to heart what people say and making sure that those comments don't bother you that much. Because on YouTube, there's always a very stark contrast from like the best and worst comment. I swear on every video, there's always a crazy person or a really super nice person. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
very well said. So, Sean, thanks for your experiences that you've had with your YouTube channel. I've got one more question for you, and this kind of is our advice portion of our episodes. But while doing YouTube, has there been a mistake that you say you've made that maybe is something you've learned from that our audience could benefit from?
Oh, what a great question. The thing that I can probably say that would help people the most is you want to focus on what the purpose of your channel is and what your audience is. So, for instance, me and Mr. Beast are vastly different, especially in skill sets, because I'm not as good as him. But for me as a marketing person, I want to be able to talk to as many business owners as possible. That's my geo and demographic, right?
Hmm.
Other people, like who's that? And I don't watch it often, but I don't know. There's a guy who he makes a lot of what's his name? FPS Russia or something. I think he's a YouTuber from long ago. He still makes videos here and there, but he's in Russia. He has like all these different guns and tanks, and he sets off all these kind of like crazy
Yeah,
explosions. And as a guy, it's appealing. I like that kind of stuff. I think we all do to some extent. But his
yeah,
audience is vastly different than mine, where he's trying to get a lot of men, some females too, maybe who like that kind of stuff, who like war, who like, or maybe not war, but like that kind of explosions and like weapons and stuff like that. It's cool. See
hmm,
things go boom, right? So it's different. And I think if people are out there and they're struggling, oh, I don't want the views, I'm not getting the views I want, I'm not getting this. Think about who you're trying to make your content for and make it for them. So if it's for business owners, okay, great, make it for business owners. If it's for people who like seeing things go boom, do that. It's really, in my opinion, missed opportunity for a lot of channels where they try to be very, very broad and reach a lot of people. It's like, newsflash, you're not Mr. Beast. No one is going to be. He's doing unprecedented things. And I don't look at the view counts. I look at the people that respond to my videos. And currently I'm getting a couple people hitting me up every single day for that, for advice and potential
wow.
work. And it's great, but that's probably the best thing I can say in terms of advice. What's your purpose of making videos in the first place? Cool. Once you have that purpose, make content for that purpose and for that audience, and you can't go wrong.
Very well said. I completely agree. Something I like to say to people when they're like deciding what to make a channel about is like, think about yourself. Like, do you like watching everything under the sun? Like in terms of content? Not really. I mean, like you have specific interests, and so make your channel for those people who have those specific interests. And like you said, you can't go wrong. So. Awesome. Well, Sean, thanks for sharing your advice. I really appreciate it.
That was my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, so your YouTube channel is Momentum 360. If our viewers or listeners want to check you out elsewhere, is there somewhere else that they should go?
That's probably the best place. I leave my contact information in every single part of the video. But if you guys want to call me, 215-607-6482. That is my direct office line. And then Sean at Need Momentum is the best email for me. If you guys have any questions, marketing related, would love to help out and give as much free value as possible.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks to our listeners and watchers for checking out this episode. Make sure to check out Sean and Momentum 360. And if you like content like this, talking to YouTubers, getting their experiences, make sure to like and subscribe. Or if you need help with making videos, feel free to check us out at creatorlux.com, and we'll see you in the next one.